Hey, you remember the other day when the majority of America went, no shit? Yeah, Kevin Spacey just announced he's gay. Worst kept secret in Hollywood. Hi, this is the Militant Moderate Podcast. I'm your host, Paul Michael Boland, and it's that time for the fart mouth of the week, and that means that the wind coming out of their mouths isn't worth a dust fart in a windstorm. Kevin Spacey. Kevin's in the news these days because he's, Don't do it. You just totally threw me. Thanks, dude. Kevin Spacey, actor, humanitarian, jungle gym fever sufferer. All right, it's come out in the long list of sexual assault that happens here in Hollywood. And, well, this happened to happen on Broadway, but an actor, Anthony Rapp, who you might know from Dazed and Confused, Senior Trip, currently on the new Star Trek Discovery, fine actor, has come out that when he was 14, Kevin tried to have his way with him. We'll get to the fart mouth part in a sec. Let's give you a little backstory here. On October 29th, Star Trek Discovery actor Anthony Rapp alleged that in 1986, when he was 14 in a starring Broadway show, Anthony went to a party at Kevin Spacey's house, and apparently he went into a bedroom because he was bored with the party and didn't realize that everybody had left, and the only two people there were him and Kevin. So apparently Kevin picked him up like a groom carrying the new bride over the threshold, laid him on a bed, then tried to lay on top of him. Anthony says at the time he'd please say no and got him off. When he decided it was time to leave, Kevin apparently leaned up against the door to the outside saying, "Are you sure? Are you sure? You don't want to stay?" Oh, God. And Anthony's not the only one. An actor by the name of Robert Cavazos, and link below on how to actually pronounce that. And I don't mean any disrespect to you, Robert. He shared on Facebook, which he alleges that Spacey made some rather unpleasant sexual advances towards him. Filmmaker Tony Montana has also brought up some allegations that Kevin at a bar put his hand on Tony's crotch. Now, again, Tony Montana, that's really his name. No relation to the Scarface character. But Tony alleges back in 2003 that Kevin put his hand on his crotch forcefully and grabbed his whole package. I think I actually met this guy because it was one of the people who made the documentary Overnight about the rise and fall of Troy Duffy, the fantastic filmmaker of the Boondock Saints. And I actually went to see a screening at the New Art out here in L.A. I had been recently introduced to the Boondock Saints shortly before I saw this documentary, and I basically watched a 2-hour hit piece on Troy Duffy and not really showing anything to the fore that he made one hell of a freaking movie. And remember, Troy was going up against Harvey Weinstein there, so yeah, it's all connected. So I believe I asked him, hey, I saw the documentary. Did you have any footage of maybe Troy holding a kitten, helping an old lady across the street? And then they told me that, well, when you do a documentary, you have to take a certain point. And I responded, so your point was Troy Duffy? So him, I got a little issues with. Also, as a blowback for these things, that was not meant for a pun. Okay. Get this. Now, you might have also heard that his very successful show, House of Cards, has been canceled. From what I understand, they haven't finished filming the last season. Now, you might think that, isn't this a little overcompensating for an incident that allegedly happened 30 years ago? No, apparently 8 current and former employees of House of Cards alleged to CNN that Spacey would repeatedly sexually harass the male crew members. Ooh. Mr. Spacey issued a statement about the Anthony Rapp incident. He hasn't, as far as I know, he hasn't commented on either of the other ones that I had mentioned or all the accusations coming from the set of House of Cards. So Kevin Spacey said, "I have a lot of respect and admiration for Anthony Rapp as an actor. I'm beyond horrified to hear this story and honestly do not remember the encounter. it would have been 30 years ago. But if I did behave as he describes, I owe him the sincerest apology for what would have been deeply inappropriate, drunken behavior. And I'm sorry for the feelings he describes having carried with him all these years. And he continues, this story has encouraged me to address other things about my life. I know there are stories out there about me, and some have been fueled by the fact that I've been so protective of my privacy, probably because he didn't want to get caught. As closest to me know in my life, I've had relationships with both women and men. I have loved and had romantic encounters with men throughout my life, and I choose now to live as a gay man. Virtue signal somebody? I think is that what a virtue signal sounds like? Not a lot of virtue surrounds me, so I don't really know what this means. And he ends it with, I want to deal with this honestly and openly, and that starts with examining my own behavior. You don't have to examine it very far, Kevin. You're acting like a f***ing creep. And the reason I'm calling him the fart mouth of the week is because now he wants to tell everyone that he's choosing to live his life as a gay man. I mean, for one, I've never gotten anywhere near him, and that was kind of one of the worst kept secrets in Hollywood, that he was a friend of Dorothy's. Now it just gets a little bit weirder because some stuff has come to light on his upbringing. And just when you think it couldn't get possibly any weirder, Daily Mail interviewed Kevin's estranged brother, Randall Fowler, who's a limo driver and Rod Stewart impersonator in Boise, Idaho. Is there a lot of demand for a Rod Stewart impersonator in Boise, Idaho? Look, man, you do you, okay? He talked about how their father was a member of the Nazi Party here in America, had a particular bit of facial hair that really only a certain crazy murderous dictator and Michael Jordan can pull off. Randall alleges that their father brutalized the family and raped him. He doesn't say that he did anything with Kevin. And apparently he brutalized his family so badly they nicknamed him the Creature. Now the father isn't around anymore, so there's that. But apparently it was so, according to the Daily Mail, the experiences that Randall went through were so bad that Randall made a point of never having children, just to make sure he didn't pass on the predator gene. I'm not trying to defend Kevin at all, and I can't believe I'm actually agreeing with Rosie O'Donnell. Thank you, Kevin, for making me agree with Rosie O'Donnell. Rosie tweeted out, you don't remember the incident 30 years ago? You, Kevin. Like Harvey, we all knew about it. I hope more men come forward. And to back that one up, Wanda Sykes also tweeted out, no, 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 no. You don't get to choose to hide under the rainbow. Kick rocks. Kevin, you decide to come out as a gay man when you are getting accused of pedophilia. Being gay doesn't make you a pedophilia. But now you're trying to convolute the two, or you're trying to make yourself say, no, you can't hurt me. I'm gay. I've had a struggle. Well, just because you're gay doesn't make you a good person. What makes you a good person is being a good person. Remember that. And I'm really only think this is scratching the surface because I've heard rumors. So that's why Kevin Spacey, although I did love you in The Usual Suspects, you, sir, are our fart mouth of the week. This has been the Militant Moderate Podcast. I'm your host, Paul Michael Boland. Please click like and subscribe, or click here to see the next video. You know, right here. Yeah, there you go. I'm acting like Spacey. And you can find the full-length podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. So remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And if you can, remember, especially you, Kevin, be nice to one another. Jesus, I feel even dirty talking about that jackass.